Bleeding and furious, Surpanakha returned to Rama's hermitage, and with her came 14 fearsome generals of her brother Khara. Pointing at the two young princes, she cried to her escort, "Look, there stand the men who insulted and mutilated me. Slay them at once and let me drink their blood." Rama grasped the danger at once. "Lakshman," he said calmly, "guard Sita for a little while, and I shall deal with these fellows." So saying, he took up his great bow. Then, following the ancient rules of war, he addressed Khara's generals, giving them fair warning before any blow was struck. "Tell us why you have come," Rama said. "Know that we dwell in this forest at the bidding of the rishis to destroy their enemies. If you wish to escape with your lives, leave us in peace." But the Rakshasas had come for war, not peace. With a roar, they fell upon the prince, and the battle was joined. It didn't take long. A storm of Rama's arrows flew, and one by one, the 14 mighty generals fell lifeless upon the forest floor. Surpanakha watched in horror as her escort was annihilated in moments by the single archer. And once more, wailing loudly, she fled to her brother Khara. Khara could not believe the destruction of his powerful detachment. He tried to soothe his weeping sister. "I sent warriors unconquerable, each one like Yam himself," he said. "Surely by now they have fulfilled their mission. Why do you weep? Why lament? While I am here to protect you?" Surpanakha wiped her tears and answered fiercely, "Your 14 warriors now lie stiff and cold in death, slain by Rama, whose skill with weapons baffles all description. If a spark of pride remains in you, go now, fight Rama, and save the Rakshasa race, or else our people's destruction is certain." "But if you are afraid," she taunted before all his courtiers, "tell me so, and I shall understand." The words, spoken so loudly, pierced Khara's pride to the quick. "Why do you tremble at a puny human?" he thundered. "Hold your patience a moment, and you shall have his blood to drink." And he rose in wrath. "Do not go alone," Surpanakha urged. "Take your whole army with you." Khara gave the command, and a great host arrayed itself for battle. The mighty Dushana led the vanguard, and behind the marching army came Khara himself, riding majestically in his war chariot toward the hermitage of Rama. On the march, many evil omens appeared, and the spirits of the host sunk at the sight of them. But Khara only laughed and reassured his warriors. "Never yet have I been defeated in battle," he declared. "Pay no heed to these portents. We shall soon crush these two little men and return in triumph." And the army took heart. Hearing the tumultuous roar of the approaching army, Rama and Lakshman made ready. "Do you see the signs, brother?" Rama said. "It is certain the Rakshasas of Janasthana are coming here to their death. I see the glory of victory already in your face. Take Sita to a cave in the hills and guard her. I shall face them alone. I need no help," Rama assured him. So saying, he put on his armor and strung his mighty bow. Lakshman obeyed, leading Sita to a hidden mountain cave for safety. And Rama stood alone in the clearing, a single warrior about to face an entire demon army, calm and unafraid as the coming storm drew near. In the heavens above, the Devas and Gandharvas gathered to watch the battle, uttering blessings and praying for Rama's victory. The forest rishis, however, were filled with misgivings. How could Rama, standing single and alone, meet and quell so vast a host? Yet Rama stood serene, bow in hand. As Rama stood ready, the radiance of his face was like that of Rudra himself, bending his great bow pinaka. And now the Rakshasa force advanced in proud array, drums and trumpets filling the quarters with clamor, so that the very creatures of the forest stamped it in terror in every direction, like great black clouds blotting out the sun. The Rakshasa hordes surrounded the lone prince on every side. Rama stood with his hand upon the string, waiting. Then the battle began. And even as the Devas wondered how he could withstand the yelling masses, a ceaseless stream of deadly arrows sped from his bow. Before that torrent of shafts, the Rakshasa ranks shriveled and dropped like moths in a blazing fire. Now Dushana himself came forward against Rama. The prince drew his bow and loosed his arrows on every side in a ceaseless stream as the sun flings out its rays. And with the very swiftness of light, the arrows brought down warriors, chariots, elephants, and horses together. They pierced the bodies of the Rakshasas and came out the other side, shining red with blood like tongues of fire. In moments, a whole detachment was destroyed, and Rama stood still amid the ruin, like Shiva at the end of time. Dushana rallied a second great army, and for a while seemed indomitable. But Rama's arrows soon laid low his chariot, his drivers, and his horses. Springing down, the giant demon rushed at Rama in fury, and the prince's arrows severed his mighty arms from his trunk, so that he crashed dead to the ground, like a felled elephant. Seeing Dushana fall, other Rakshasas rushed against Rama and were slain in turn by the arrow speeding from his Kodanda bow. So the whole of Khara's army was destroyed. It had come roaring like an ocean, and now it lay still, a vast mass of corpses, severed limbs, abandoned weapons, and broken chariots. Only Khara and the three-headed Trisiras now remained. As Khara surged forward to meet Rama, Trisira stopped him. "Let me go first and kill Rama," he said. "Or if I am slain, then you may meet him after I am gone." And mounting his chariot, the three-headed demon attacked the prince with a shower of arrows. Rama met the demon's shafts with arrows that hissed like deadly serpents. The duel raged, but not for long. At last, Thrisiras collapsed and fell, spitting blood from all three of his monstrous mouths, and his followers scattered and fled like frightened deer. Now only Khara was left to face the prince. Seeing this, Khara cried, "Hold!" to his fleeing troops and drove his chariot straight at Rama. His confident pride was gone now, but he fought manfully. The shafts loosed by the two warriors darkened the very sky, and Khara stood in his chariot like Yam himself, pouring out an endless stream of arrows. For a single instant, Rama leaned upon his bow to draw breath, and in that interval, Khara's arrows pierced the prince's armor, so that his body shone through like the sun breaking from behind a cloud. It was the one moment of danger in the whole battle, and the watching Devas held their breath. Then Rama took up the mighty bow of Vishnu. With it, he laid low Khara's chariot and cut the demon's bow clean in two. Khara seized his great make instead and came on. High above, the anxious Devas and Rishis renewed their fervent benedictions, praying for the prince's victory in this final, desperate duel. "You have been a terror and a plague to mankind," Rama declared. "But strength of body is no shield for an evildoer. You have hunted and slain the Rishis at their penance. Now you shall receive the punishment your sins have earned. The spirits of those you devoured watch your doom from their aerial chariots. Human worm, son of Dashratha," Khara roared, "have done with your boasting. You are proud because you have slain a few common Rakshasas. Only a Kshatriya banished by his own people brags. So, let's see now if you can fight. Evening draws near. Prepare to lose your life, for I have come to avenge my slain warriors." So saying, Khara whirled his great make and hurled it at Rama. But the prince's arrows split the make into harmless splinters that fell scattered on the ground. Have you finished speaking, Rakshasa? Rama said. Now you shall die, and this forest will be safe hereafter, and the rishis will live in peace. Gnashing his teeth, Khara tore a huge tree up by its roots and flung it at Rama. But this too, the prince split apart with his arrows. Then, broking no further delay, Rama aimed his deadly darts at the demon. Wounded, Khara sprang forward, seeking to grapple the prince in close combat and crush him. But Rama stepped lightly back, avoiding the demon's grasp, and loosed a single mighty shaft that clove Khara's breast. With a great crash, the warlord fell dead upon the field, and the last of the Janasthana host was ended. The long and terrible battle was over, and the lone prince stood victorious. From the heavens, the Devas showered down flowers and cried aloud in joy. Rama has slain the sinful Rakshasa. Now men may live in peace in the Dandaka forest. Within a single hour, he has destroyed Khara, Dushana, Trisiras, and their whole army. Truly, he is a hero beyond all heroes. Sita and Lakshman returned from the mountain cave to find the field won and the prince unharmed. Lakshman embraced his brother, rejoicing that single-handed Rama had fulfilled the promise of safety he had given to the rishis of the forest. And Sita's heart overflowed with love and pride at her lord's great victory. How could Rama, all alone, perform such mighty feats? Consider a cow guarding her calf, who will scatter a whole crowd of men, and you may glimpse the power of love. Love, according to the occasion, takes on many heroic forms: valor, sacrifice, unconquerable strength. Such is the might that love can summon. And when God takes human form and sets himself to fulfill his promise to protect the helpless, his limitless power comes into play. So it was that Rama, the Lord in mortal shape, swept away 14,000 demons in a single hour, keeping his word to the rishis and freeing the forest from its long terror. So the army of Khara was utterly liquidated, and peace returned to the Dandaka woods. But this great victory would not go unanswered, for the news of it would fly to Golden Lanka, to the ears of the 10-headed Ravana. And from that, the shadow of a far greater war began to gather over Rama's forest home.